Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Preston here, and today this is another quick preview and prediction for the main event and the co-main event. The main event, Jared, the real big baby Anderson versus Prince Charles Martin, and the co-main event, Arslanbek Mackmudov versus Raphael Akpejiori. So let's first start off with the co-main event, Arslanbek Mackmudov versus Raphael Akpejiori. Alright, alright. So first fight we got is the co-main event, Arslanbek Mackmudov versus Raphael Akpejiori. I would assume his name is. Alright, so let's go to the tail of the tape. Let's start off with Arslanbek Mackmudov. Arslanbek Mackmudov comes into the fight with a record of 16 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He comes into the fight with a height of 6'5.5", and his reach is unknown. Hate whenever BoxRec doesn't show their reach. And let's see his most recent fights. Let's start, let's see. Let's start from just here. 2022, like Mackmudov, beat Maruz Watch. I know who that guy is. I think, I think he's from Germany. I think Watch. I have to go check. Let me see, because I'm not very sure, to be honest with you. No, he's actually from Poland, actually. But either way, he kind of sucks in my opinion. So I mean, but it's a name on his record. But then Arslanbek beat Carlos de Calm, by unanimous decision. That was his only fight that didn't get stopped by because all of his fights were basically by knockouts besides Carlos de Calm. Carlos de Calm was the only person he couldn't get out of the ring. I mean, he beat him, but it was definitely a good fight, though. Carlos de Calm was definitely catching Mackmudov with punches, and stuff. And he was making Mackmudov kind of look, not as, confident. Because Mackmudov isn't anything of a sort of a boxer. He only comes forward, basically, And the Calm kind of, he exposed him because even though Mackmudov won, but Carlos de Calm did kind of expose him because that was probably one of Mackmudov's first fights of him actually fighting somebody who boxes pretty much. That was like the first fight that like somebody would actually who actually knew how to box. All these guys are basically journeymen basically is what Arslanbek was fighting. But once he fought Carlos de Calm, he won, but he didn't look impressive in that fight at all. And he definitely showed a lot of holes in his game. It kind of shows of who he fought, to be honest with you. And he beat Michael Wallace, and I heard of that guy. So that's a win. But I mean, it's a little step up, But I mean, well, it's not a step up from the Carlos de Calm fight. But I mean, I feel like, really Mackmudov kind of lost that fight against de Calm because the thing is, Mackmudov was in his home country. That's the thing. And of course, you're gonna get the benefit of the doubt, especially when you're trying to get yourself up there, and stuff like that. And then he fought Carlos de Calm, who was a name, but it was a really good fight because Carlos de Calm looked like he was almost kind of getting the better of Mackmudov a little bit, but Mackmudov was just coming back with his shots, to be honest with you. But anyways, let's go to Raphael Akpejiori because we're gonna talk way too much about Arslanbek Mackmudov. All right, so Raphael Akpejiori is 15-0. Comes into the fight with the record of 15 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 14 wins coming by way of knockout, and he stands at a height of a whopping 6'8", and his reach is also unknown. And his fights, oh my lord, whoa. That is a terrible, terrible resume. All right, but let's just go from 2021. Raphael Akpejiori beat this one dude of the name of Brandon Spencer, and the dude was 9-18 with 3 draws, and then he won by TKO. Beat Stephen Leones. Don't know who that guy is, but it kind of reminds me of the TV show Beyblade, But he won that fight by TKO, and then he won by a TKO again by Santander Salgado Gilles. Then won against Terrell Jamal Woods, and then Del Long, and then now he's fighting actually a 16-0. That is a crazy step up though. He hasn't fought anybody. Like literally, this dude hasn't fought anybody, and he's now just jumping in the ring and now fighting a very very tough fighter of Arslanbek Mackmudov, and stuff like that. But now let's get to what these fighters, like what they're capable of and who I think is going to come out victorious in this fight. So let's start off with Arslanbek Mackmudov. So Arslanbek got relentless pressure, because that's basically what he only does. He does good with his jab, when he jabs his way into punches. And he does do good at making opponents go backwards and does easily get punched. But the thing is, well, I kind of forgot to say, but he does easily get punched, and stuff like that. And he seems like he has a good chin, and stuff like that. But he doesn't do that good at, being forced to box, Because whenever he gets tired, because the dude can't really go like the 12 rounds at all. His cardio is not that good. But the reason why is because Arslanbek is a fighter that, he kind of punches himself out quite easily, and stuff like that. And, he did it obviously in the Carlos Takam fight where Carlos Takam kind of forced him into a fight, and stuff like that. And that he didn't really know how to really properly manage his gas tank. And then he got very, very, very tired and stuff like that, But the thing is also is that he does wait too much when deciding to attack because he'll jab, 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 and then the other person will hit him, and then he'll just jab, 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 jab. But that's more whenever he gets tired, and stuff like that. Whenever if it's in the first round, if he gets punched, he immediately goes for the kill. Arslanbek Mackmudov. He mainly just goes for the kill like in the first round. But once he outpunches himself, and then he gets tired, he starts to just jab, jab, and jab, and then he starts to wait, a little more, and then his volume is not as much, at all, and stuff like that. And Mackmudov has a good right hand, but is very predictable when throwing, and stuff like that. Because literally, the thing is, he cannot time his right hand for shit when he's at range, when he's at like far range, Like that's what I was pretty much saying that he can't really box that well. Because the thing is, he will just jab, 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 jab. But then when he wants to actually time somebody with like one shot, he will just wind his shot, and then it's really predictable. So he easily gets countered, and that happened a lot in the Carlos Takam fight, and stuff like that. And the thing is though, Mackmudov obviously only has one game plan. And the thing is, it's like I really hope when he starts to get more, better and stuff like that. I hope that he can actually learn how to properly box, and stuff like that. Because I feel like if he actually learned how to properly box and like in fights, he would do really good. Because if you look at people, I'm not trying to, do all these comparisons, but I'm just saying because they have similar styles. What's his name? Fucking Archer Beterbiev. That dude, he at first in his career, the dude like he just had a lot of power, and then he would come forward, But I feel like ever since Archer Beterbiev got dropped in the fight against that one dude, I forgot, I don't know the dude's name. But he got dropped in the fight, and stuff. But that changed Archer Beterbiev's way, and stuff like that. And then he started actually doing pretty good at knowing how to better, cut off the ring and, know how to, actually box, like against fighters, and not actually like keep throwing punches and stuff and waste your energy. So the thing is, I do like Mackmudov, but he has a lot of things to improve on. It's just he only fights in well, it's not that he only fights in Russia. It's just he hasn't fought anybody really. He only fought like pretty much like known journeymen and then bums pretty much. All of them are bums, but like but the named fighters that he fought were named journeymen that he fought literally. But now let's get to Raphael Akpejiori. Raphael Akpejiori, he's pretty active with the jab, and he is pretty powerful with that right hand, because he got long arms, he got an 80-inch. Well, I think it actually said he had an 80-inch reach. And I think when I looked on my phone the one time, like it said he got an 80-inch reach. Let me see real quick. I want to see if it actually said on the computer. No, it doesn't. But I think something said that he had an 80-inch reach. I think. But I'm gonna just say because he has an 80-inch reach, and stuff like that. And the thing is, he's also pretty good at following up with his punches. And then the thing is that he could really do that in this fight, to be honest with you, because Mackmudov is not good at following up with his punches. I mean, he's good at doing it, but whenever he gets forced to kind of box, he doesn't really do good at following up his punches and then moving out the way. The dude's pretty powerful, and he's big, and he has long arms. So he automatically, once he times you, boom, boom, he moves you backwards. And, he could really do that in this fight, Even though he has a good jab, he easily gets timed with jabs to then get hit by shots, and stuff like that. Because what I mean is that he'll jab, jab, jab. But the thing is, he tends to leave his hands quite low, and he's pretty ugly with his footwork, and stuff like that. So he doesn't really properly know how to close the distance and close out, and stuff like that. So someone could easily just jab his face in, and the thing is, Mackmudov also got a pretty decent jab too, because just like I said, Mackmudov jabs his way in, and that would also be a good tool for Mackmudov, and stuff like that. But he easily gets hit with jabs. And then he easily gets hit with shots, obviously. And the thing is, he shows up whenever he gets forced backwards, He doesn't tend to go backwards because, again, he doesn't really know how to, properly, like, move to the outside like that. Because the dude is 6'9", 6'8", So, I mean, I could see why, because, he ain't no Tyson Fury, Like, this dude is like a regular casino fighter, literally, like he isn't this is his first fight. The thing is that's crazy is that this is a crazy boost in the fight for Akpejiori, because Akpejiori, like, this dude has been fighting nowhere but in Nigeria, I think, and then he, like, literally, like, he never really fought, like, the top competition like that. So this is a crazy step up for him and stuff like that. And, like, I know that was kind of off topic, but I just had to say that, and stuff like that. And but what I was about to say is that he shows up whenever he fights, And the thing is, whenever, like, that's not good, especially when you go against a guy like, Arslanbek Mackmudov. Like, Mackmudov is going to easily come forward against you, and he's going to beat you up, And he has zero defense, and is very slow, And my final thoughts for this fight, this is going to be an interesting fight because we literally have another Tyson Fury, because Akpejiori is 6'9", so we're going to witness another giant and see how good he is, because and see how good he is going to, and see how good he's going to do, because Akpejiori is not bad, because he can back up Mackmudov with his jab, and he has strong punching too, so he can easily back up Mackmudov with his shots. So he can put, Mackmudov at range, and shoot his hard jab and then time him and stuff like that. It's just like, I really hope he worked more on his footwork in this fight, because, like, if he comes in with his footwork like how he usually does, it ain't gonna be good. And Mackmudov is going to do good at utilizing his pressure, You know, because Akpejiori doesn't do good against people who like against people like who have top level fighters. You know, and let me rephrase what I was saying. You know, because Akpejiori, like, but the thing is, like, Akpejiori, like, doesn't do good against people who are top level fighters, pretty much. He doesn't really do good against top level fighters, and Mackmudov is a top level fighter with good pressure, and that's the thing. Like, it's just they could have found any other fighter but this dude, Akpejiori. Because like, I don't know, maybe he's like high in the rankings, I don't know, but I just don't know why he's fighting Akpejiori. And this leads to my final prediction. Even though Akpejiori is a complete giant, he's a tall fighter, I'm still picking Arslanbek Mackmudov because he looks more seasoned than Akpejiori, and again, Akpejiori is not the best at going against pressure fighters, and that's what Mackmudov is basically, and that's what his only tool is, like, really as a fighter. I mean, he can improve, but anyways, because the thing is, he comes because Mackmudov, is a relentless pressure fighter, and once Mackmudov hits Akpejiori won't like it, and Mackmudov would gain more and more confidence throughout the fight, and that leads to my prediction of Arslanbek Mackmudov winning this fight by an early or mid-round stoppage or a unanimous decision win. Alright, now we got to the main event of the evening. Jared, the real big baby Anderson versus Prince Charles Martin. So first up, we got Jared, the real big baby Anderson. Jared Anderson comes into the fight with the record of 14 wins, no losses, 0 draws, all 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 6'4" with a reach of 78.5 inches. In his most recent fights, let's go all the way since he beat Kingsley eBay back in 2021. Yeah, that was a good win. He destroyed eBay. I feel like the only competitive round you could really say was the first round, to be honest with you, in that fight. But the rest of the fight was basically all Jared, the big baby Anderson, the real big baby. And then after that, you fought Jeremiah Karpency. I think I remember seeing that fight too. I think he knocked him out. I would believe he knocked him out in the first round, but I think it was the body shot that got him out of there. Then he fought the undefeated 22-0-1 Vladimir Shishkin. Vladimir Shishkin. And he beat him by a TKO. I think it was in the 4th round. It doesn't really say on my computer right here, but I would assume that he got Sarishkin, I think I said, in the 4th round, I believe. After that, he fought Alexander Telesco, and he did demolish the dude, but that was a little bit of a tougher fight, because I think the dude was fighting back a little bit in that fight, Then he fought Mijan Rovkanin, obviously and then after that, he fought Jerry Forrest, beat Jerry Forrest and stopped him, beat George Arias, and I did not know that George Arias was undefeated, but he was undefeated, and he stopped him. So he's on a good run right now, Jared Anderson, and stuff like that. Now let's get to Prince Charles Martin. Alright, so Prince Charles Martin comes into the fight with a record of 29 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 26 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 6'5" with a reach of 80 inches. So, if I'm not mistaken, I know he has the longer arms by an inch and a half, but I mean, yeah, and he's naturally the bigger fighter in this fight. I would have assumed so because he just looks like the bigger fighter in the fight usually. Like, well, not usually, but at least in the fight against Jared Anderson. But now let's get to what these fighters are good at and what they need to do to win this fight. All right, let me log into this real quick. My computer is just, again, another day of my slow computer. You've seen in many of my videos, of my computer holding up time and stuff like that. So it's none really, made like, major and stuff like that. But I mean, it's kind of just whatever. You just have to fight through it. But now we got it. All right. So first, let's start off with the favorite Jared. Oh wait, actually, I forgot to actually do something, guys. I forgot to actually say like the most recent fights of Charles Martin, because this is actually kind of interesting, to be honest with you. So if we'll go back all the way to 2016 when he fought Anthony Joshua, when Anthony Joshua was actually good. 15-0 Anthony Joshua, and he got knocked out in the first round. He got hit once and he just didn't want to continue. After that he won 2 fights against complete bums, and then after that he fought Adam Kalnowski, and you know how Kalnowski is nowadays. And this was a 17-0 Adam Kalnowski, whatever you want to pronounce it. But he was 17-0, and then I actually watched that fight too. It was actually on the undercard of, I think it was the co-main event for, what was that fight? I think it was for the Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter fight. And Sean actually won that fight, but some people thought that Danny should have won. That fight will always be kind of a little bit controversial, but Danny wasn't really that active in that fight, and that's why he lost. After that, he fought Gregory Corbin, and I think I remember watching this fight too. I think this was on the if I'm not mistaken, I think it was on the, I think it was on the Wilder versus Tyson Fury, the first fight of Fury versus Wilder, and I think he was on that card, I believe, and he fought Gregory Corbin. Then he fought Daniel Martz. I heard of that guy, and he beat him, and he demolished, I wouldn't say demolished, but it was a decent fight, but he stopped Gerald the Bum Washington. I've never been a fan of Gerald Washington, to be honest with you. I always thought Gerald Washington was kind of like he sucked. He always sucked. He's really the only reason why Gerald Washington is known is because he fought Deontay Wilder and got knocked out. And he actually kind of hanged with Deontay Wilder a little bit until he ran into that right hand. After that, he lost to Luis Ortiz after Luis hit him into his equilibrium and completely shut him out in that fight. But he was actually fighting back in that fight though. Against Luis Ortiz. Because he actually dropped Luis Ortiz in that fight actually. But then he fought this guy named Devin Vargas, and dude was 22-7 with 0 draws, and he won by a not TKO, but a KO. And now he's fighting Jared the Real Big Baby Anderson. But now let's get to who are these guys' skill sets and my final predictions for this fight. So first up, we got Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson got good power, because obviously 14-0 with all 14 knockouts. Obviously, he got some power, but I do see that he doesn't have he got lights out power. It just depends on the person and how he hits you, but he's pretty good though. Anderson is more of a guy though that he'll hit you, with multiple shots, and you can handle those shots, but then soon, you'll just those shots are going to be too much for you, and then you get stopped, or knocked out by Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson, obviously, kind of like what I was pretty much saying, was kind of trying to say was Anderson got good volume and stuff like that. He's also pretty damn quick, too. Got good awareness of where to throw, knows how to mentally break his opponents down, and Anderson has tons of confidence in the ring and usually is more ready in the fight than a lot of the fighters, and stuff like that. And Anderson got boxing skills like he's from the lightweight division or welterweight division. It's kind of cool, to be honest with you, because I know there's people like Tyson Fury and stuff like that know how to box. But the thing is, Tyson Fury, if you really want me to really explain, Tyson Fury is, he's only undefeated and he got good boxing skills because he's a big and tall dude. Jared Anderson is a regular sized heavyweight. And for him to have that type of skill set is pretty fucking amazing in my opinion. And stuff like that. And he has a lot of speed, and stuff like that. And it's just he'll always have the speed advantage. I'm not talking about the power advantage. That just depends on the fight, but he'll always have the speed advantage, and stuff like that. And obviously there was rumors also that he knocked out Tyson Fury in sparring. I don't know if that's quite true, but that's pretty much why Anderson is pretty much as popular as what he is right now, and stuff like that. But the thing is, Jared Anderson is usually sometimes in one spot when he attacks, and when he's in one range, that puts him in range for Martin to attack him, and stuff like that. And yeah. Next up, we got Charles Martin. Charles Martin got a pretty decent jab. He got a strong jab, and stuff that will kind of keep your opponent away. He also is a strong puncher in general, gets respected because Martin got power, and he also does good pushing people backwards with his punches, but he is slow at following up with his punches, Martin, and it is just slow in general, to be honest, and he also struggles coming forward and attacking people who are like top fighters, and he has slow enough punches in my opinion that you can easily slip his punches. You just have to have the right techniques and the right mindset to do it, And Martin also, of course, got a weak chin, His chin always been weak, and that's why he never really been at the top level. And he's slow too, But that's also the main reason why. It's because he's slow and he doesn't really got the best chin in the world. My final thoughts for this fight. This is a little bit of a challenging fight for Jared Anderson because Anderson has to be more careful of getting hit by Charles Martin's punches. And I feel like Anderson is going to do really good at making Martin go backwards. And I feel like Anderson is also going to do really good at going backwards because I feel like he's going to have to practice going backwards, especially against a guy like Martin, because Martin got, power. Charles Martin is going to do good at trying to find his range in the outside and land that stiff jab, to make Jared Anderson think more and go backwards. And I feel like he is going to do good at trying to land big shots on Anderson and to use his experience to drive Anderson into the deep waters. My final prediction for this fight. This is a good fight night, and I can't wait to watch this fight because Charles Martin is back because we all love Charles Martin. At least if you're a true boxing fan, and we're a fan when he fights. And if he wins this fight, that would make a big statement in his career. But I obviously do have to go with Jared, the real big baby Anderson, because he's obviously the more fresher fighter. He's quicker, he has great defense and great timing, and I feel like Martin doesn't really. And the thing is, I feel like Martin won't have too many answers with Anderson because with Anderson, and stuff like that, and especially if Anderson tries to hit Martin to the body, that would tire out Martin in the later rounds, and into the later rounds. And that's why I'm picking Jared Anderson to win this fight by a late round stoppage or a unanimous decision. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I got Jared, the real big baby Anderson, by a late round stoppage or a unanimous decision win. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm Preston, and peace out.